Disney mi ha invitato a intervistare il cast di Avatar e adesso ho una missione, devo strappargli uno spoiler. Per questa missione mi servono domande croccantissime e le abbiamo, e poi transizione TikTok completo. Guarda che meraviglia! Possiamo andare? Posso dire che ho una certa ansia per questa intervista perché è la prima con un cast internazionale, sono un pelino agitato e anche un pelo in ritardo. Tra l'altro l'intervista ovviamente è in inglese e quindi se mi sentite balbettare sapete perché. Avatar seems to be moving toward the direction of a generational saga, with the younger characters becoming more and more central to the narrative. Does the third film set the stage for passing the torch?
No.
Thank you very much for being here in Milano. At the end of The Way of Water, Jake lost a child and Quaritch found one. Is Jake becoming the bad guy in Avatar 3?
Yes.
Bad, good, black, white, grey. I think it's all about the complexities of being a dad. I think, I think he goes back to his default of being a soldier, which is a very human default for Jake, which is interesting because he's learnt that the Na'vi way is probably a much better way.
The second Avatar movie ends with a terrible loss that I imagine will shape the plot of the third film. And we expect Fire and Ash to be a darker movie about grief and losing of faith.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. 2 and 3 were essentially one movie.
Yeah.
So when I read it, they were one story. So you knew that what was going to go on in 2 would echo into 3. And I think that's the idea, is that the third one is bigger, but it's still familiar. But yeah, that loss is what fuels the energy of 3.
Yeah.
I think they're rising from the ashes.
I'd just add that, yes, you're right in pointing out that grief is the prevailing theme, I think, that we go into. But what's so interesting is having to deal with grief when you actually don't have the time, when you don't have the luxury to deal with grief, because the narrative goes on, the threat is still there, and it's very, very present. That's a difficult thing, I think, for characters to deal with.
Avatar seems to be moving toward the direction of a generational saga, with the younger characters becoming more and more central to the narrative. Does the third film set the stage for passing the torch?
No. the movies, the universe in this saga is a love story between Jake and Neytiri. The natural extension of that love story was children. And then the natural extension of that was to test that family unit. If we get to, this is, the end of this chapter, if we get the opportunity to increase the saga, I think Jim's going to take it in very unexpected ways.
Steven, Quaritch has survived 2 films, each with a different version of himself. What, in your opinion, makes him such an essential figure for the evolution of the saga?
Look, in so many ways, Quaritch is a reflection of Jake. I mean, these 2 characters, each of them, I think, are wonderful characters in and of themselves, but when they kind of reflect each other, they get deeper, they get richer, they get more complicated, it seems to me. Quaritch is Jim has been committed to the concept of this character from the very, very beginning. I think that Cameron loves all his characters. I think he has a deep, abiding affection for Quaritch, and it's just a great privilege to continue to play him. Hopefully that will, who knows where it will go from here.
The trailer shows the tension not only between Na'vi and humans, but also between Na'vi and Na'vi. It seems like the world of Avatar is becoming more complex and political. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think the planet of Pandora is big. I think we've only barely touched on it. And so once we include the Ash people, they're well known. The Wind Traders knew. This other clan knew about the Makwan Raiders. So everybody knows they exist. It's just this is the first time we're showing them to the audience.
Yeah, definitely. The stakes are increased. We're seeing parts of Pandora, which, technically speaking, is a moon of a greater planet, Polyphemus. We're seeing things you haven't seen before, and I think that also leads to the question: wow, having seen this, what else haven't we seen? This is a very vast world with many, many different types of inhabitants and creatures in Pandora, and so it's an entire world that Cameron has created.
How does the relationship between your two characters evolve?
It's the same antagonistic battle, but I think that Jake is trying to get Quaritch now to open his eyes and see.
There'll always be violence involved in it, but there's also been, from the very beginning, there's always been a level of respect and a very, very grudging, I'd say, type of admiration. Yeah. Things harden between them, and then things tend to, there are times when they have to soften. Yes, thank you.
Ok, Avatar Fuoco e Cenere dal 17 dicembre, mi raccomando, al cinema. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sono bravi, perché rispondono sempre ma non si lasciano scappare niente. Ce la siamo portata a casa, dai.